of the breakout. They're the ones wishing they could turn around. Big bangs to cover up your head before the bomb blast. It's coming soon, so you better think fast. I never thought you'd fall from first to last. Wide-eyed, hot, wide, locked and loaded. Stay away, 'cause you know that I'm dying to go. Come on. Yeah, we were born ready. Yeah, we were born wild. Yeah, come on and get ready. 'Cause we're bringing the fight. Come on. Yeah, we were born ready. Yeah, we were born wild. Yeah, come on and get ready. 'Cause we're bringing the fight. Come on, stand up and give a little love to the leader. Yeah, take a little lesson from the teacher. Raise your hand, gonna make you a believer. It's done, it's over before I ever stepped in. I caught you flat-footed while you're resting. I never take it easy, better rub it in. Wide-eyed, hot, wide, locked and loaded. Stay away, 'cause you know that I'm dying to go. Come on. Yeah, we were born ready. Yeah, we were born wild. Yeah, come on and get ready. 'Cause we're bringing the fire. Come on. Yeah, we were born ready. Yeah, we were born wild. Yeah, come on and get ready. 'Cause we're bringing the fire. Yeah. Yeah, we were born ready. Yeah, we were born wild. Yeah, come on and get ready. 'Cause we're bringing the fire. Come on. Yeah, we were born ready. Yeah, we were born wild. Yeah, come on and get ready. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, we were born ready.
It's the final few seconds before the lights go out and the race to the podium begins. You know this battle will be won off the track as well as on it. You've studied your tactics, anticipated every move like a grandmaster. You've researched and analysed, modified and fine-tuned to perfection your instincts to give you an edge over your rivals. Your drivers focused, your team ready. The championship in the balance. First past the checkered flag, the goal. Epic victory or ultimate failure. There is only a heartbeat between them.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining this Formula 2 stream, and that was indeed a fantastic highlights reel made courtesy of Jensen with a few tweaks, I think, from a few other boys, I think. But yes, keep in on your calendars October the 4th for the next EGL tournament. But this is Formula 2 we're going to be kicking off with. Hopefully it runs pretty seamlessly, no issues. And in the hot seat beside me, I think by popular demand, is, well, I don't know why I could say Bilosh, or as people will recognize him on the track as Kirst. Hello, Kirst.
Hello.
Welcome.
I mean, I suppose you could use both because it's very universally known as Bilos.
Bilosh, yes. I prefer to call you Bilosh than Kirst.
I suppose it's a more interesting name. I could just change my nickname to Bilosh, so it's just universally known as Bilosh instead of Cursed. I suppose.
I think everyone knows you as Bilosh, so that's what I'm gonna run with anyway. So, this is your first, not your first commentating, because I know you've done it before, but this will be your first Formula 2 experience, is it? Or have you done a bit of racing in Formula 2?
No, I've only done the career mode bit, the start of the career mode bit. And yeah, that's really it. I've done the Formula 2.
Yeah. Oh. Well,
Always underway.
we're just thrown into it, and already we've lost Elementrix. Elementrix, ladies and gentlemen, is Wimpy's lovely lady. So this is her debut, so we're keeping an eye on her. But as they are running on their hot lap, it's one-shot quali, and Light Cruiser is, of course, is the main guy to be looking for, but it also is Toto, Maltino, and Contender. Oh, Contender's joined us as well, Bilosh, for his, I guess it's his first Formula 2.
I don't remember seeing him before, so I think it is his first time.
We can see Light Cruiser's actually way off the pace here, down in P8. So I'll maybe switch to Toto, who's hasn't dropped from P1 yet in this qualifying session.
And he does have the third fastest lap time in TT.
That's true. But as we were saying, me and Triton were saying yesterday, that TT times got only, ultimately one lap raw pace. It doesn't decide, your race pace ultimately. And Toto does have some very good race pace. Light Cruiser's way down in P14. That's a real surprise.
He must have made a mistake.
Toto's coming around the line. This is going to be quite a clear P1 for him and Pole as he crosses the line at 1 minute 27, 1 minute 20. Yeah, quite a convincing P1 for Toto. Excuse me. And where did the Element? I want to see where Elementrix came. This is her first. I know she's been grinding it pretty hard. Her and Wimpy have been practicing hard. Well, and whereabouts is she?
I did.
Oh, she did.
On.
Oh, sorry. Be honest, yeah, no, she didn't get a time in because she disconnected. Sorry, what were we saying, man?
I was going to say because I started spectating her at the start and she just pulled up to the side of the track, so I was like, oh, yeah.
So a big surprise, like Cruiser got disqualified. Who else? With Vinny, Marston's a lot quicker than that. In the time he gave, we know he's a lot quicker than that. We've seen didn't he go quicker than Toto, I think?
He might have.
Yeah, Jensen saying in chat that Toto's sandbagging the whole day. Yeah, where did that come from? Maybe he was just trying to get a bit of courage built up.
I think Toto just looking for that Mercedes contract.
Yeah. Looking for other things as well, but we'll leave that.
Oh, I suppose
we'll play that by ear. We're just waiting for them all to load in. Hopefully it goes seamlessly, no issues this time. He's asking me, do I know more, Bob? I'm not actually quite sure, to be honest. I think I'll have to see how the stream progresses. So they're lining up. Why am I not getting any sound?
I'm not getting any sound either just yet.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Light side and off the go. It's no messing in this Formula 2 session. Then you try and get the stuff on screen. Oh, we're gonna crash!
That's Vinny.
Oh my goodness!
And there's multiple more people.
Oh, when is that Bascandino gonna stop spinning?
Yeah, Vinny retired. Bascandino was a Beyblade for a second there. Mike was a bit of oversteer.
And Toto's lost 2 positions already, Bilosh, in that start.
He has. And there's Petroy's in P1, who I believe has not won an F2 race yet.
Petroy's is correct. He hasn't won a race yet. He showed plenty of potential, but hasn't quite nailed it yet. Smaltino, of course, has nailed it, but Toto was right on the back of Smaltino. Oh, a little bit of a touch in the rear there, and he gets the move done on Smaltino, although I don't think Smaltino's giving it up. Oh, he's half off track. Oh, and Toto's got spun, and so is Smaltino. Oh, yeah. And he takes out other people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people off now. A lot of fun thing. Oh, and oi. Martinez rejoins on track and takes out a few more people.
Oh my goodness, there's absolute carnage at the back of the track. I think that all kind of basically started with Toto and Smeltino's fighting there.
Yeah, Pretorius now with a huge lead of 4.6 seconds before the first lap even finished.
This is just like that. Pretorius gets himself, as you say, a humongous lead. Almost 5 seconds over Nickelodeus. So it's just a case of Pretorius just hanging on here and for these next 19 laps. I'll just have a quick chat on what's going on the chat.
I do believe that Elementric is racing. However, it's her ghost car. And she's on the back of Wimpy. I think it shows the amount of carnage in this race.
Yeah, Vinny showing a bit of frustration, rightly so, I would suspect. On the chat asking, how do you hit someone on the straight? And as Jensen says, by not driving straight. Yeah,
I
but
think Speedy would know a lot about that.
Oh, shots fired in this direction of Mr. Speedy.
I mean, just not being straight in general, I suppose.
Oh, more shots fired.
I suppose.
I'm not going to get involved in that. This might be your first and only stream. But yes, Elementrix is hanging on the back of Wimpy here. Within half a second. Oh, runs very, very wide. Goes down the escape road. And gets well out of it. Doesn't want to get out. Oh, he's driving off-road here as we've seen. Oh my goodness, what's going on here?
There's Chief off-road as well with Elementrix.
Yeah, Chief getting stuck. Oh, Chief off. Elementrix still off track. Probably just letting everyone go. Fair
Possibly.
enough. Yeah, there's no harm in that. You know, it's your first time. You're not really experienced in the whole racing. It's nothing wrong with that. This is more experience for her more than anything. But Light Cruiser is frig. Look at that. Toto's made quite a recovery. Bilosh.
Yeah, he's not very far off Wimpy and P4. So you could maybe still get a podium here, which would be a really good result for him, considering being yoinked around, I suppose.
Kitty saying in the chat that Elementrix is mowing the lawn.
A little bit. I think Kitty's very much enjoying the race with all the carnage.
Oh yeah, I would say she'd be definitely loving that. Yes, all these times are kind of leveling out. The closest one here is Toto on the back of Wimpy, and then Light Cruiser just lurking in the background watching this as well. Revo saying in the chat, Toto can't win. I believe there's some kind of bet or something on. I'm not really quite sure what's going on here. If Toto's kind of pressurized to win, maybe find out more details what that's all about later on. But he's certainly mounting the charge here. He certainly wants this win. He seems to be a young man possessed. Must be something driving him. Maybe
there is. But Pretorius is has a very big gap now. We've got 8 seconds almost, and I think unless he makes a big mistake, he's going to completely win this race. Yeah, of course. Anyone who isn't familiar to the racing, if anyone there's any, which I'm sure everyone watching is familiar, but I always let people know, just in case, that the top 8, whenever this race finishes, the top 8, so first to 8, they will have their positions reversed. So if it stays as it is, Pretorius will start 8th in the sprint race, and OceanChief will start 1st. So it's all worth definitely considering trying to get into that P8 position. And we got Light Cruiser and Ocean both in the pits now. Yeah, Ocean in the pits, as well as you said, with Chief and Van Beats gets past them in the pits. Sometimes the Formula 2 races can just be fantastic watching, but then other times everyone just kind of levels themselves out, and then it just becomes basically everyone kind of just doing hot laps more than anything. Jensen's informing Kitsune to get the bubbly drinks for Tipsy, please. No, I think I've learned my lesson from yesterday. Well, if she wants to send them down south, I'll gladly take them. Yes, get them sent down before October 31st. Indeed. Sorry. Excuse me. So give us a bit of action here, people. Where's the action going to come from? It's probably going to come from Toto, the man possessed. 0.6 of a second behind Grazie Joss. Grazie Joss also doing a very good job in this race.
doesn't usually get into these positions, well, in the positions at this high. So I'm sure if he managed to keep it clean, very happy with those.
Oh yeah, P3 will be a huge result for him, but I don't think he's going to be able to hang on to it, Bilas, because...
Yeah, Total might get him to turn 1 here.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a good run.
Yeah.
He runs off wide. That's pretty nip and tuck that.
Yeah,
Easy
with
peasy.
DRS, no problem.
Lovely.
His next start is going to be Nicolitis, which I think he'll be able to get him.
You know, I wouldn't discount Toto just yet off Pretorius. I know he's got almost a 10... Well, he has effectively got a 10-second lead on Toto. But Toto is fast in the Formula 2 cars. So, given maybe if Pretorius has any issues on track, maybe trying to lap anyone, you can see Toto on that mounting a charge on that lead. Yeah, Benny's saying everyone is so spread out. Yeah, that's kind of the problem with these Formula 2 races. That's why I'm running on board with Toto, because he's the closest battle at the moment. Nick Lodius is starting to show a little bit of pressure there from Toto. Right on the gearbox of Nickelodeon. Oh, and he runs really wide.
He makes a mistake, yeah. Toto's fast easily.
So that frees him up. He's got what, 10? What,
Yeah, he's got 14
laps, yeah.
Make an 11-second gap. Well, we did see it in real life F1 with Mr. Hamilton on the alternate strategy, make up a lot of time in the dying laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Oh, Smeltino's trying to go down the inside there of Wimpy on the third last corner. Wimpy defends it well. Smeltino is also another nice recovery from him as well from that collision with Toto. But Smeltino will most likely get this moved on the main straight with the DRS. Ooh.
No contact.
I was just looking down in the chat. What's going on here in the chat? Kitty saying Toto has to lose. Why does he have to lose, Kitty? Because then he loses his bet. Hey, Kitty, you're going to have to enlighten me on this chat. What's this all about? Because it's going to distract me from the race.
This team with a little mistake, and he's side by side in turn 2.
Still side by side, these guys. Wimpy really hanging on there.
Tino backs out. Wimpy goes wide.
That might compromise Wimpy's line with a little bit of a run on the grass. Runs a little bit wide, yeah, but he should have shaken that off by now. Like everyone else, yeah. So this is the battle at the moment. What is this going on in the chat? What? What? Oh, Smeltino stands on Wimpy. And Wimpy still hangs on. He's not giving it up yet. Wimp's fighting with all dear life here. But yeah, the move is done. Smeltino gets it done.
Now, I am aware that pit stops in the F2 are a bit longer than F1 pit stops.
That's correct. About 6 seconds on average.
6? Alright, well then, Wimpy looks reasonably safe for P6. Unless Light Cruiser is going to do very good pace, because he has a 30-second gap. So, he's going to pit now.
In case anybody was wondering, that was 30 seconds.
Indeed. Now the whole of the top 6 is pitting. 33, I suppose. 33. Claudia's getting, I think, a little bit held up the pits.
Did the Toto have some sort of penalty or something he was serving? Because he was held in the pits a very long time, it seemed to me.
I'll check.
Yeah.
No, he has no warnings. I think he might have just got held up by the other cars coming out. And now the gap is 12.2 seconds. I think the total comeback is looking very unlikely unless Pretorius makes a mistake.
Yeah, it's looking a bit difficult for him. We get yellows in sector 3.
Oh,
sorry.
Smeltino doing a drift out of the pits.
Well, they're mentioning drink here too, or Bilarsh in the chat, but Kitty doesn't saying I don't want a drink. Yeah, I'd take a drink, yeah. Often
a cup of delicious hot tea.
Oh man, you are talking now.
Innit?
Elementrix gets herself a 5-second speeding, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Easily done. No, Kitty saying in the chat, Tipsy's coughing on that. Maybe he needs a bubbly drink.
Milos, shake my head. No, Kitty, I don't really want something bubbly unless you make my tea with bubbles. You can do that with the milk. Icewind gets himself a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Thimo saying it looks like Toto might not win. Yeah, it's looking a bit tight for him, although he's got it down to 11.8. What, 11 laps to go? Yeah, I'm thinking it's pretty much a safe win for Pretorius, like Bilar says, unless there is an issue. Yeah, I don't see him.
I
doing
mean,
this.
Pretorius isn't necessarily slow at all.
No. By no means.
They're both reasonably fast drive, but I don't think Toto is fast enough to gain a second per lap, unless Pretorius starts making mistakes or as a spin perhaps.
See who else we're on board. We're not on board with Elementrix on her debut race. I know she asked me not to show, because just the nerves, I suppose, the shyness of her. But no, everyone's entitled to a little bit of stream footage. Elementrix is no different. We will show all her coverage, although she might not like that. Let's move away. Give her a bit of space. Victorious.
Yes, well, Tino was on the backup contender, but he half spun out of turn 3.
Maltino? Let me see. Yeah. Oh, 10 seconds now, time penalty for Elementrix exceeding the track limits. And she gets another 10 seconds time penalty, so that's about 25 seconds she's got. She needs to be careful because I believe whenever you get into around about the 25 penalty points or on track points, it's around about disqualifying zone, I think, Bilar, isn't that right? I think it's about 20 odd points.
Something like that, yeah. Seemed just about right.
Yeah, Skippy saying that she will get there, give it time. Yeah, I agree. He was showing a good pace there at the start. So, Formula 2 isn't that... Some people, like the Formula 2, the way the cars handle. If you're used with the Formula 1, the Formula 2 actually feels a little bit more difficult in some ways to drive. In some ways, it's also easier. One thing definitely noticeable about the Formula 2 cars is the understeer. The significant understeer. And you also have to apply the brakes much earlier as well. So, it is a learning curve for these things. But, she's doing the right thing. Although I see she's left, I think she may have crashed. Doing the right thing, joining in the stream, joining in on the racing, and that is the best way to learn. As I said before, Wimpy has made remarkable progress since he farted. No, he didn't fart. Sorry, excuse me. Since he started racing in the Formula 1. I think he never raced in any race before. Now look at him, he's going around nicely in P8. Going on track. Oh, light cruiser. Making a move on Grazie Joss. He's going to get it done before he gets to the main straight on DRS. So Grazie Joss is going to get the benefit of the DRS. The activation zone will be the white line there. So that's the fastest lap. A bit slow on the throttle by Grazie Joss there. So yeah, you can see how Light Cruiser just earlier on the throttle takes off. But the DRS is going to help him try and catch up again. Are you still with me there, Beanosh?
I am.
Good job.
I'm just very much enjoying this race, I suppose.
Anybody in particular you're on board with? You want me to see?
I was looking at Svaltino now with Kuta, and he's gone very close to him. And
oh yes.
Yeah, he's gone a bit too fast on the track. He's half spun a little bit. Quite close.
Yeah, he's really closing in on him. Oh, there's a pass further back. Van Beats on Icewind. No, sorry, Icewind on Van Beats. Oh, Icewind disqualified from qualifying. He's took to lap 10 to get a move on. Oh, and he runs very, very wide. Gonna compromise his line. And it sounded like Van Beats lifts it off there on that corner, which you don't normally need to do. Jesse also catching up on the back of Bascantino.
Ooh. Yeah, he lost traction a little bit.
Oh yeah, Jesse's really struggling.
Yeah.
I'm back on track now with that fight that you're watching, Bilosh, with Smeltino. He's right on the back of Contender now. With he'll have his mind set on that DRS zone. Oh, Contender runs very wide. That lets Smeltino catch up. I don't know, is he going to have enough of running?
He might.
Yeah.
He might go for it. And he does.
Contender defends it well, but he's going to go for the cup. Oh, and he gets it all
He's
wrong!
gone.
On the par, it's very easy to do that on the Formula 2 cars, and he needs to watch for Webby coming around. Yeah, he's still off track. We'll check for Bascandino as well. Yeah, so Contender Smeltino back on track. Look, I've tried these cars, and maybe people seen my one race I done as well. In France, I think it was, I was sitting in for the Chief and Wimpy. I also spun the back of the car. I mean, I actually find that it's much easier to spin these Formula 2 cars than the Formula 1 cars. It may be just because I've more, experience in the Formula 1 cars, but I don't know if anyone's tried it. You should give it a try. You'll find I think people will find the Formula 2 cars are actually pleasantly, surprisingly fun, but a bit difficult in some respects. The braking's much easier. The throttle, you need to be a bit more careful on the throttle, as Smeltino just demonstrated. But overall, yeah, it's a good fun car. You just need to be really, really careful on that throttle. But he is in P8, and that will effectively give him P1 if he stays in this position. Light Cruiser is also mounting this charge for P3 on Nickelodeon. People are saying on chat that is karma. Oh, excuse me. That is karma for Smeltino, because he took out Toto.
I suppose these things may happen.
Yeah, these things may happen. I don't think it was done on purpose. Far from it. Smeltino was done quite a few races. That's not normally normally the kind of thing he would do. I think it was just basically, as they say, a coming together.
I suppose we can consider Japan of last season also as an interesting incident happened with Smeltino. But I'll leave it for now.
Yeah. That's it. We'll talk about that after.
Yes.
Excuse me.
It's generally well spaced out, bar Light Cruiser and Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that's what I'm running on board at the moment with Light Cruiser and Nickelodeon. Light Cruiser's really trying to get this move done. He really wants that P3. And I
Might send it here.
Yeah, he thought about sending it on. I can't remember who it was previously. Oh, he's sticking it on the inside. That's actually quite a good thing. He's got the inside line. Oh, but he backs out. Yeah, wise move. Use the DRS. You don't want to pass him too early and give the guy the benefit of the DRS. So there's the white line, activation zone. Light Cruiser taking a purposely wider line so he can cut in a bit tighter, and he'll get a much on the power much earlier. He goes in behind the back end of him to get the slipstream as much as he can. You don't want to do a Mark Webber and leave it too late and go flip on your roof. But yeah, the slipstream, the DRS doesn't seem to be as effective in Formula 2. You can see the way Nickelodeon is able to stay hanging on in there and retain that P3. Oh, Smeltino has also got the DRS on Wimpy, so he's recovered from that spin. Yeah, look, he's got the DRS and there's just no effect whatsoever.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be very powerful. Neither is Slipstream in this game, but
Slipstream is non-existent, but I mean the
Oh,
DRS.
yeah. I thought you might send it there, but felt better of it. But you could.
Oh,
We'll get a
little
pass
bit of
here.
contact, yeah. I'll be careful. Yeah, Smeltino's like, he goes all in for it. If he, there's no mistaking that if he's behind you, there's no mistaking that he's there. He makes you work for it. It's good fun racing him. Oh, a little bit of contact. That's almost what happened with. Oh, we get a yellow in sector 2. And we got a car off. Who is that? We're coming up ahead. Who is that? Was that Grazie Joss? Yes, Grazie Joss must have had a mistake somewhere. Wimpy's going to close in on him very quickly here. Well, no, not actually that quickly. He's just over 3 seconds. Yeah, but it's still dropping.
Yeah, I've been watching Smeltino's on board for a little bit, and he seems to consistently be getting a lot of oversteer out of the corners. Probably because of being too
eager on the throttle.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wimpy's around.
Was that a little bit of contact? I just looked away. I thought I heard a punt.
I think there might have been a slight bit of contact.
Because it sounded and looked a bit similar to the Toto incident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bit of contact. He touched his rear.
Yeah.
Spun him around, but
Yeah, so on the Toto one, it looked like that. It looked like there was a bit of contact on the rear. On that one, I be honest, I was looking down at the chat, but I just heard the punt, so
yeah.
I can't comment.
I
on
had a
it.
quick look on the replay, and yeah, he did get a little shunt the rear.
Okay, so the
So
boys will be wanting to have a look at that. Yeah, go ahead, man.
I was going to say there doesn't seem to be any direct battle, but Smeltino has caught up quite a good bit to Grazzi just now.
Yeah, I'm still running on board with Smeltino. See how he does this. Grazzi just seems to be struggling on these mediums. As Icewind and Chief also, they've got super soft. Oh yeah, Smeltino, you wanna don't be doing it. Oh yeah, Grazzi just lets him go. Wise choice. There's no point because it might have been a 3-time lucky there for Smeltino. Molo is asking in the chat, or he's saying in the chat, 10 second stop go for Smeltino, please.
Guys, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, Skippy's asking where's the penalties, and now Skip, if you're asking for the penalty or any penalty, if there is to be applied for Smeltino, I don't believe that we can't. The FIA cannot apply those penalties live to affect the current race. What will be happen is any reports, anything that happens, people will report that after the race to the SLR's FIA, in which they will go through a panel of judges who will discuss what happened, and they will decide. Their decision will be in terms of what penalty should be applied, if any, and in terms of how many penalty points will be applied, if any, and then that will then have a potentially a knock-on effect on the next race. So Jensen is wanting to know, Bilosh, what are your expectations for the next race?
I reckon that Pretorius and Toto, I'm thinking if I want to say they're going to crash, they're out. So I think with this interesting prediction, however, I think there's going to be a lot of fight between Pretorius and Toto for the sprint race. I reckon they're going to be starting right next to each other, and they're both going to be eager to get some extra points in the sprint race. I reckon they're going to have some fight between those two. I reckon Bascodinho is going to have a very good chance to win that race, and maybe Contender as well could be up there.
Well, you know what, I would say that's pretty. I would mirror everything you just said there, especially the potential contact with Pretorius and Toto. It's not because they're dirty drivers, far from it. It's just that they're so fast and they are really competitive. And Pretorius is, I wouldn't say he's not aggressive, but I mean he's committed. If he finds if he knows he's got the pace and he sees a gap, he commits to that that gap. But so does Toto. Toto defends well as well. So yeah, I think that's a pretty fair shout to say that. Light Cruiser, bear in mind, will be starting behind them as well. So we're gonna have a 3-way battle. I thought I seen a battle further back there, didn't I? 2 blue cards. Was that Wimp and Chief? Who was that?
Jesse and Bascodinho are close together.
Yeah, as well as Grazzi Joss as well.
Yep. Now they're all in the train of 3 people, all for P7.
Thimo saying that he predicts Light Cruiser for the victory in the sprint. Danny says he actually thinks Smeltino will get the win in the sprint.
Jesse's
Jesse!
gone.
We've lost Jesse.
It's now the 3-man train instead of the 2-man train for P7.
And yeah, Bascandino is right on the back of gearbox, right on the back of Grazzi Joss, and he's going to get the DRS. Yeah, so people are giving the predictions who they think. So yeah, Thimo thinks Light Cruiser will get the sprint win. Danny thinks Smeltino will get the sprint win. Dead Pixel thinks that Toto will be forced. Oh no, I'm not going to read that.
Jensen says Light, Prey and Toto will fight. Molo is saying he's off to watch. How do you say that? Timera Duck? Who?
Timet Marmadurg. Funny F1 YouTuber.
How dare you, Molo? That is you banned from the EGL after that.
Honestly. I am honestly shaking in my head currently.
Nice save, says Tipsy, says Thimo. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, come on, give us some action here, boys, for these last laps. So who we're running on board with? It's Grazie Joss within 1 second off Bascandino. Elementrix has rejoined. Let's see if that wee car... is she going to join today? Well, yeah, we're going to get her for the sprint race, which should be good fun. Oh, Molo, you absolute legend. He's staying now. Well done, Molo. Yeah, Jensen's exactly right, Molo. It's better to squeeze out silently next time. Yeah, don't tell me you're leaving. Especially don't tell us you're leaving to watch whoever that is. You know what I mean? Just if you're gonna go, just go silently. But we would rather you don't go and watch this awesome racing, whilst everyone is negating each. Do you know what? I'm too old and I'm too tired to speak. Benos, do you want to say anything?
I don't know actually, because I was just checking up on some matches I got on Discord from the funny Polish League Division 4 people. But yeah, I am hoping for a very epic sprint race.
Oh, we must. I think. Sorry, I missed that. Toto was.
He's now 23 seconds behind.
Yeah, he was marching that gap down. He got it down to about 8 seconds the last time I checked, and now it's 23.5 seconds. So a significantly huge mistake by Toto, and that has just thrown him right into the clutches of the current leader of Formula 2. And let's face it, he's going to become the first Formula 2 drivers champion, light cruiser. He's just got such a humongous lead and everyone else. Toto, of course, did join the Formula 2 division midway through the first half. Not even midway through the race. So yeah, light cruiser nearly loses it, but he manages to hold on to it. Toto going defensive, light cruiser on the DRS, but as you can see, it's not that effective. So Toto's going to want to defend this for dear life. Light cruiser is on older tires. Toto puts the squeeze on, gets that move defended, but it's not over yet. They're going to run on board. Light cruiser sends it down the inside. This is going to get hairy. He's not giving it up. Toto, as I said before, he defends very hard. So light cruiser, this is going to be a very dodgy place to send your car. This is going to be, something's going to give. Yeah, he had a back out.
And Bascadini has been disqualified.
Oh, a little bit of contact. Toto is really desperate to hang on to that. You want to stay off that curb, and that might be the move done, as Bascantino is indeed disqualified, as Bedos picked up on. This is not looking good for Toto. I don't think he's going to have any more. He seems to be really struggling for pace, even though he's on much fresher tyres. Wonder if he got any wing damage.
Yeah, he must have spun out, and tyres must be really worn now. And looking at it, he does have wing damage, missing his left end plate.
Yes, he does. So
Pretorius wins the race.
Pretorius wins the race by a significant margin. Although I'm sure he would like to say that that's just raw pace. I mean, it wasn't. There was a humongous accident at the beginning, and Pretorius just positioned himself perfectly and just commanded it all the way.
Yeah, of course. There's also a nice part of pace being there. He's obviously not very slow.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a combination of the two, the accident and his good pace. So he drove reasonably well. And he stayed out of accidents, so it paid off for him. And I believe it's his first P1 in F2.
Well, yeah, that was you actually called that as well.
I did.
Benos getting the big
big brain.
Yes, there we go. The big brain on his first debut test. I can't talk, man.
No, honestly.
What's that? Yeah, that's why you're. Hang on, what's that? So I don't know what's going on in chat there. I was going to comment, but I better not because I'm not really sure. I don't want to get into trouble. So, what's this? What's this about me being ruthless? What? I'm not ruthless. I'm harmless. Would you say I'm ruthless, Binosh?
Depends.
Hey.
I mean, I don't know. In a relationship type of thing, I don't know. You know, it depends. It really does depend on the situation, doesn't it?
Well, what situation?
I don't know, man. You tell me. You tell me.
Jensen says, when in doubt, shout! Sorry
They,
if I deafened anyone there. Sorry. Yeah, so who was that? Yeah, so I'm forgetting. Oh, my mind. It's not easy getting old. Yeah, so Pretorius gets his first maiden win.
P1.
His P1. Light
Then
Cruiser.
go P2 and Mr. Toto on the last step of the podium.
So he didn't win. Does that
Did
mean
not.
anything?
I think it does. It does mean something.
I'm not sure. Hang on a minute. What did you just say, Kitty? Can you say that a bit louder? Can you shout that in the stream?
I'll make you tea!
Epic!
Epic.
Epic!
Sounds like an absolute gamer move. I say so myself.
Hey, Beanosh, that reminds me. When was the last time? No, actually, I'll not ask you. No, I will ask you, but don't answer it. When was the last time you used the word epic? Other than other than then?
Oh,
Don't answer that.
that.
Don't answer that.
Hmm.
Don't answer that. That was me being ruthless again, but no, I'm backing it out. I'm aborting that one. Abort. Back out.
I think the last time I used the word epic was when I got. Actually, well, no. I was gonna say
No.
P5 in China, but that was depressing.
Sorry, Hugo's asking me, Tipsy, do you want to play some Siege later? Do you know what? I might actually, if anyone's interested. Play some Siege. Actually, tell you what I have, but I don't think it's no problem us advertising on other games, but there's been a little game on my wish list, and it's just been released, and it's called Police Stories, and it's like an old school game. It's like a top down, like a 2D game, and you should check it out. I'm not going to promote it too much.
Unless we're gonna get paid.
Don't reject me on stream. Hugo's, my dude. I am not rejecting you. I said yes. Said yes. Would you care to join us, Milosh?
Maybe.
Ooh.
Can we promote Slay the Spiders as Bugos? I think we should, because it's a very
Well,
big.
you're gonna have to promote that, Milosh, because I'm not quite sure what it is, man. So
it's the best strategy game of the last 5 years, and requires at least 5 brain cells to play, as judged by Terra Incognita.
yeah, I believe Mr. Terror was the guy that introduced it to pretty much everyone, wasn't it?
I suppose. It is a very epic game, however.
Oh, actually, speaking of which, speaking of the devil, as we say, Mr. Harrison 4 is in the chat. Hello, Mr. Harrison 4. Welcome. I hope that you're impressed by our commentating. It's always difficult when you have Terror in the chat because being a pro at this, kind of a little bit of pressure.
Alright, I was gonna say, I think I'm not the only one with players, am I? But
No, I'm currently waiting for Van Beats.
unless the lobby is not actually going to start, I'm gonna get code mastered on.
Oh no, I did say off. Oh, thank goodness for that.
Yes.
The
I think
rant
you might
has
have
been.
Alt tab.
Would you like to call the start of this race, Bilosh?
I don't know. Oh well, we're off anyway. Jesse from P1. Looks like it's a decent start from him. Spontaneous gonna send it up his inside, however. And looks clean from now for the time being. And Speltino goes to P1. Jesse going wide. Jesse down to P4 already.
Yeah, Jesse's dropping back big time, yeah. Oh, what's going on here?
Oh, there's some interesting strategies by the Damskar.
Yeah, some interesting tactics. I'm just reading the chat. Oh, who was that? Well, don't tell me that was. Who was that? No, I seen a car going sideways. Was that Vinny? No, it wasn't Vinny. It was Jesse. Who was that? Sorry. Oh, for goodness sake. This is.
Was some.
Oh. Yeah. So Toto's putting the charge on Smeltino here for this win. He wants to capitalise. Pretorius lost out big time there. Yeah, can we see the gaps? Thank you very much, Matchery. Yeah, Vinny up 9 places. I like how everyone's moved except Chief. Well, I like Cruiser Nick, but Chief's really good at.
Not
Well,
moving.
I was gonna say something there, but it would have been like an innuendo. So, I was gonna say Chief's really good at coming last, but I mean,
He's not quite last, however, which is
no.
the
Well,
disappointing part, I
there's still
suppose.
a few more laps to go yet.
A few.
Who we're gonna run on board with? Light Cruiser.
Oh,
Oh, Nickelodeon's got a little bit sideways up
Yeah.
ahead. Victorious is sending it down the outside. That's brave. That's going to be a difficult move to pull off. Oh, Nickelodeon gets on the grass. I think he's got the move done. Yeah.
Has it?
Where's Nickelodeon? Yeah. Oh, Light Cruiser's got
Van
a...
Beat gone.
We've lost Van Beats. Light Cruiser, what? Oh! Yeah, that's a bit optimistic to go in there, and then he's just... Oh, no, sorry, that wasn't Light Cruiser. Forgive me, Light Cruiser. That was actually Vinny.
It was Vinny, possibly,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Vin. That was the Vin man. Vinny on his day is a force to be reckoned with on these games. He's really fast and really, really committed to his overtakes.
Yeah, so far we're all running in a big train, basically from P1 up until...
P6.
Yeah, really, and there's not much of a gap down. They're all really close, actually. We're just falling right behind each other. There's no massive gaps. First really big gap comes Victorious 1.5 and Basco 1.7, really. It's all very tight for the points, playing positions. Which is only the top 8 for this race.
Good wee scrap going on here between Jesse and Chief. Chief actually getting the move back done again, so well done from Chief. Oh, but Jesse's now got the run on Chief. Chief moving to twice there. Ooh, trying to get out of the slipstream. Jesse's thinks about it, backs out of it.
Which
Oh,
he
no, he
blocks
doesn't.
off, man.
Oh, what's going on here? Bit of lag or whatever. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, and Jesse in the grass. Bit of
Jesse's
mowing.
mowing the lawn, yeah. Quite an expensive lawnmower.
It is.
Elementrix and P14. Not too far behind these guys, which is that's no mean feat from her. You know, this is her debut race, so I mean she's not getting left for dead. Just keeping up very well. So this is a good performance from her. Keep at it, Elementrix. Keep at it. You're doing a good job. Nice win on the back of his engineering friend Chief. Where else is going to be a battle? Oh, Ice Wind! Oh, Chief ran a little bit wide there, and Ice Wind sending it. No, didn't send it as such, but he seen the gap, went for it. Chief gets it back. Yeah, Ice Wind, you want to play this smart. You don't want to pass just yet. Don't pass yet. Wait for the DRS. There's a little bit of a gap. But then Chief might have the DRS on Wimps. Yeah, it's just under a second, so these guys are all going to neutralize each other. Oh, his Chief runs very, very wide.
Light Cruiser might be setting up the move here on
Oh,
Nickelodeon.
let's run on for Nickelodeon and Light Cruiser, yeah. Good spot, but Nickelodeon has got the DRS. Yeah, you can see that. He's got Slipstream and DRS as well as Nickelodeon. And he's sending it.
Send it.
Got the move done.
Not yet.
Not yet. They're running almost
it's
side by
back
side. Oh yeah, Nickelodeon, this is great racing. Oh, Light Cruiser standing around the outside. He is not giving this up, but I think he's going to have to wait for another lap because you don't want to make a move there. Meanwhile, Toto still hasn't got this move done on Maltino. Now they had a little bit of contact, a little bit of history the last lap on this very corner. Sorry, the last race in this very corner. I need to drink the tea here. Don't want the. It's not normally professional to do that kind of drinking and eating on the streams, but we are allowed on Formula 2. I have been given the blessing of the main man. Which is kind of why you're here, Belosh, because I don't know whether you'd be allowed in the Tier 2 and the Tier 1.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm basically a fetus, honestly. But...
Ah, not at all. Oh, no. You are always welcome on these streams with me, man. Have a quick rundown on the chat because I don't want to be getting shouted at. I'm not checking the chat. So they're talking about the EGL. Yes, we'll be mentioning that again. No. Sorry about that little bit of silence. I was just checking the chat to see if there's anything worth mentioning, but they're all talking about other people that we don't know. So let's continue on with the race. Toto still has not managed to find a way past Smeltino as Jesse DNFs. I don't know whether he just retired or whether he crashed. We'll maybe see him further on around the corner. Toto really cutting that corner. He really wants to keep up with Smeltino here. He wants this win. Also up close is what? I believe the phone is ringing.
Electros gets done. Moved on Nicolaitis.
Right, a bit of background noise there. Yeah, I just got that on the stream. Yeah, I'm really keen to run on board with this with Toto here. I want to see if we can get this move done. I guess we're going to see just how, I suppose, ineffective, so to speak, the DRS. We've mentioned it a few times. Let's just run on board here with Toto and just see how effective or ineffective the DRS. So he hits the DRS button now, and although it's looking pretty good this time, a bit of a delayed response there, but Smeltino's going to be able to cover that easily. He's going to run him out to the line. So Toto's going to have to rethink his tactics here. Try and work on getting this pass done.
Team with a little lock up. So they did get kind of close, but not enough for a move.
But Timo's showing that he does have this pace. You know, I mean, ultimately Thimo is quicker. You can see how he's having to lift and coast a lot of these corners because he is just too quick. But Smeltino, he is already a race winner. I think he's won.
He is indeed.
He's either won 2, maybe he definitely won Baku. Or was it Austria did he win? I think Popo corrected me on that the last time. But he's definitely a race winner, so he knows how to win these races. He knows how to hang on. But Toto wants this. Toto wants this win. And he's still got a good bit of time to get the move done. Not what's happening in chat.
Yeah. I can say this is quite a reverse of the last race, where there's a lot of people very close together, whilst the last race there wasn't many people close together really. There's only a few people that were actually fighting each other, but now Icewind is kind of close and Grazias. He might get a move done here. Perhaps.
Yeah, running on board with Icewind to see how it goes. I just got the tail end out of Toto. Oh yeah, and Icewind has the same issue that Toto had there, where he gets a bit of a tank slap at the rear.
Yeah.
So Revo's asking in chat, what happens if Toto wins now? I mean, so what is that a reference to? I mean, what happens if he wins? Well, he gets the points and he gets the race win, but
I suppose he does.
Is there something else that Revo's referring to?
Who knows?
Revo, you might have to enlighten us.
And Nicolaitis is gone.
So we've lost Nickelodeus. I don't know, Nick.
He pulls over to the side there. He hasn't got any damage. However, his car just pulled over.
Jenny's saying on the chat that if he wins, if he doesn't, what is it? If he doesn't win, he wins his bet or what? I mean, we should. He can't do that. She's saying we shall not. You can't give us a little bit of info and then not tell us the rest. I wish I knew. I mean, is it something to do with him or what? I mean. Oh, I wish I knew what that was all about.
The big SLR lower.
Oh, but Toto's got the move. See, yeah, he's just a little bit too late. The DRS really just kicks in just too late. The straight's just a little bit too short. Oh, Toto loses it!
Oh, and he's in the wall.
And Toto's cracked.
He might not have too much damage.
Oh, and he's left.
He's gone.
Yeah, I think Toto has thrown in the towel. Aye. We were all watching you there, Toto. We were hoping you could get that move done. But now that has freed up Smeltino to focus in on securing possibly his second race win, and also Jesse's left the session as well.
writes to Thimo, I think it's go get her. Get what? Hey? What is this about the nerves? No, you know what? There's someone's gonna have to tell me because unless I just get someone in the chat and tell me, you know. But I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, light cruiser. We're gonna have a round 2 effectively of the feature race with the light cruiser up against Pretorius, of course, for different positions further back. But it doesn't really matter. They all count. And I mean, as I said earlier, it doesn't really matter really by now where a light cruiser finishes. I mean, he secures points. You know, high points, significantly high, heavy scoring points every Formula 2 race. So I mean, it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to get the title. As Contender is hanging on in there, he's pretty much surrendered that move to Pretorius, but he defended it off there against Light Cruiser. Although I think Contender's thinking about sending it here. Oh, a little bit of a look, but he doesn't. He backs out. I think this is, as we said earlier, his first Formula 2 race, so he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, he could be on for a podium here, most definitely. And maybe even for a P2.
Yeah, he could actually quite get P2, is right.
Because they're all fighting, Smaltino's getting a bigger lead here. Got 2.4 seconds now, and I believe it was 1.7 the last lap. Smaltino might very well win this race.
Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good for him to win this, to be honest. Something I noticed with Light Cruiser, so I've watched, I've done a lot of Tier 2. I think I've done 2 seasons of Tier 2. I've done some racing in Tier 1, and I've done all the Formula 2 seasons, and I've seen a lot of guys race, and I've seen a lot of their driving techniques, and even whenever I am racing, whenever I'm following behind someone, I'm really watching how they drive to see where their gaps are, what's their kind of the pattern they have. And Light Cruiser's pattern is that, see, as he's approaching a corner and he's thinking about an overtake, he does a little, like just like that, he does a little juke out. He has a little, Contender sends it on Pretorius, and he gets, just about gets away with it.
Might be past him here now.
Yeah, I think he will. He's going to have the inside line, and he will probably run. Contender's got a different angle. Yeah, he's going to, I thought he was going to run him right out to the line, but the Contender backs out of it.
Yep.
But as I was just saying, then I'll run on board with Light Cruiser to see if I can get him to do it again. As he's approaching a corner, a potential overtaking spot, he has a quick, dart to one side. One, I think, is just a little bit of a look. He's maybe testing, how he feels, how the tires are working for a dive. And ultimately, I think it's more to give a little bit of a shock to the guy in front. Maybe see the red arrows flash suddenly across screen, make them panic into a move. Something I've done myself. It does work. Some drivers, other drivers are just, so focused on the doing. In fact, one guy I'll tell you who doesn't really fall for that quite often, or doesn't actually fall for it at all, is that gentleman there who's just made a comment, Mr. Terror. Done a lot of racing with Terror in my time, and I mean, he's remarkably faster than me, but there has been moments whenever I've been behind him, and doing dummies and doing all these wee things to try and see if I can throw him, but never able to throw Terror. He seems to be just so focused on what is in front of him that that doesn't seem to work. Although there are other guys. Let's see if Light Cruiser does this again. Let's see if he does a little juke. Well, he's got the run on him here, so he'll not do this time. But yeah, there are other guys who do fall for it. Who do fall for the dummy. It's just basically about getting the experience, racing all these guys, racing these people, week in, week out, getting the test them in every moment you can, see how much to cope with. Sometimes it's even worth not even trying to move on someone, just follow behind them in the DRS, just let them pull you along, and see how they cope with the pressure. See how well they cope with just someone dogging them lap after lap. And every lap you do that, every race you do that, that you can bank that in your mind for future races, that whenever you're coming up against these guys in different scenarios, which will happen, then you have all that previous experience of racing each and individual person in the back of your mind, and then you can bring that to the forefront to use as another skill, another technique to use in your arsenal. That's why you see people like Jensen and Terror and Atrocity and Speedy. These guys, who are so fast because not only do they practice so much, they have so much, on-track experience, but they've got the race so often as well. And of course, they've got the talent. And so when you put all those things together, that makes them, quite a formidable force to be reckoned with on track. Alright, I was kind of going off on a wee bit of a friendly rant that time. Be lost. I'm sorry, I'm kind of talking over you, not giving you a chance, man. If you want to,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
get
As much
involved.
as it's a physical sport, there's also a lot of a psychological side.
Oh,
to
yeah.
the sport. It's also about how much you can take the pressure, how much pressure you can take before cracking.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. There's always, if you're not psychologically able to take the pressure, then the pace won't save you most of the time.
That's true.
Turner gets himself 3-second time penalty, so he's effectively out of this fight for the podium. Unless something bad happens. And now...
Oh, Light Cruiser locks up, nearly goes sideways, and that's going to give Pretorius a sniff. Pretorius had a little sniff down that inside, but Light Cruiser recovered and defended it well. So, you know what? Being honest, what you said earlier as well, that Smeltino might not have this in the bag, because... Oh, Pretorius nearly loses as well. We're seeing a lot of examples of this, what I was saying earlier. About how lively these Formula 2 cars are. They're so eager. They just want to spin. They just want to go sideways. And you're seeing Light Cruiser getting sideways, although that was mainly because he locked up. Pretorius getting too eager in the part, nearly loses it. Smeltino has already lost it earlier on. Toto.
We had some flags. It was Wimpy has spun out turn 1. Fortunate for him. So it looks like he's not going to get any points here today. Just unluck.
Terry just said in the chat that these cars look really fun to drive. Yeah, man, I don't know if you were listening earlier, that I was really promoting them. I mean, I've done a good bit of driving in them, just mostly myself privately, but done a little bit of practicing. Oh, Pretorius runs a little bit too deep. A little bit of practice privately, and as well as, some online lobbies, and definitely give it a go. Formula 2 is so much fun. The understeer is significant. The braking zones, you have to brake earlier. Pit lanes are much longer, but I mean, it's such a fun experience, really is. And so definitely jump on some of these races, some of the practice sessions, and just have a go, because I mean, it's really good fun. And I think we need to see more people, some of them top boys, get onto the Formula 2, because excuse me, as we see, Maltino's got the pace, so does Pretorius. Vinny has the pace on his day. Toto is remarkably fast in Formula 2, but Light Cruiser's just running away with it, and he's only going to get better, because every race he's learning. Like I said, he's banking all this experience. So it would be nice to get more people, at that level. The likes of Jensens and Speedies and Terrors and Hugos and Vance and all them boys. Get them on the Formula 2, and I think it could become something pretty significant. But we're on the last lap, and Contender is really harassing Pretorius here. So, although Contender's not really on for a podium because of them penalties, he's actually gifting this P2 to Light Cruiser by battling Pretorius so much. Light Cruiser, yeah. He definitely sees this P1 be lost. He's gonna go for this.
100%.
I mean, 0.8 of a second on the last lap in Hungary, with not many overtaking zones. Certainly, it's not an easy thing to do, but if you can just squeeze up on the back of him, you never know.
Yeah, there's definitely easier things to do than overtake a Hungary. But yeah, it looks very likely unless Maltino makes a mistake that he will win this race.
Yeah, only a few more corners to go. It's looking pretty much wrapped up for Maltino. I'm gonna run down board anyone else we can run on board with. OceanChief. OceanChief's on the right in the back of Grazie Joss.
He might be making the move for the final points playing position.
Oh, a little bit of a lock up. I think I was maybe a spectator bout. Yeah, but he's really on the back of him. Oh, he needs to lift off here.
He's sniffing him.
He's having a good old sniff of that rear end. Oh, and he runs wide. That's going to compromise. He's going to run way off track. That's that over.
Wins that.
Yeah, so Smeltino gets the race win. Light Cruiser P2, Pretorius P3, Contender manages to get the P4. Vinny P5, good recovery from Vinny after the incidents he had in the beginning of the feature race. Bascatino gets P7, 6. Icewind comes across in P7. And if not for that one mistake, Chief was maybe looking at the points.
Oh,
Chief gets it!
Penalty.
He gets it! Chief doesn't finish last.
A surprise, but a welcome one for sure.
And Elementrix, look at this. Elementrix in her debut race, coming in P11. A few more corners to go. She's going to beat her lovely gentleman behind her, Wimpy.
Her special friend.
Her special friend. Here he's liking this view.
I think
Elementrix.
he's gonna be a bit disappointed to be beaten by his special friend.
I
no?
don't know, I think actually he'd be pretty
know,
proud. to be
No,
honest.
maybe. Bit of both.
I mean, I would like Kitty to get on it, but I mean, she's an
Kitty
absolute
just
disaster on track.
unlucky. Just get her to practice, honestly.
Mate, I can't even get her to figure out how to connect the steering wheel to the desk.
I just pressed the buttons in it. God damn.
But she doesn't change gear or nothing.
It's kind of lame. Anyway, it's Valtino P1 this time, and Light Cruiser on P2, and 3 is on P3. It's a good race from all three, I suppose.
Yeah, but I'm going to say it again. I think a great performance by Elementrix.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's her first, from what I know of, that is her first proper online race. And she, bit of bad luck in the first one. I think she maybe disconnected as well. But
Yeah.
look at that. She doesn't even get any penalties. Fantastic.
Gaming.
And she's not that far off the pace, to be honest.
No, not really.
I mean, look,
Pretty decent, yeah.
Jesse is the closest one to her. Now, Jesse's done a lot of racing, as people knows Jesse. He's done a lot of racing. He's not, he's not a beginner to this racing, and he's just 2/10, not even
Yeah.
quicker than her. So here, that's all positives to take away from that, and no penalty. So fair play to her. But Cruiser gets the fastest lap once again. I think every single stream I have watched,
Iceland has the fastest lap.
No, on my screen it's showing Light Cruiser with a 1 minute 30.9.
Oh, well, Iceland has a 30.8. Mine anyway.
So maybe he does then.
Maybe.
So forgive me then. So yeah, I'm gonna get the big interview screen up, and I'm just gonna close the game. So that was that. Sorry, Benos, I kind of talked a bit too much there. Didn't give you much chance to fill in.
Just the Gen Z's getting abused by the millennials or the baby boomer.
So, shall we do some interviews? Does anyone want to do interviews? I mean, I think everyone will want to jump at the chance to be interviewed by Mr.
Oh. Well, if anyone just wants to come for an interview, hop into Gentleman's Lounge. We have an epic interview.
Yes, anyone would be care for an interview? Anyone at all? While we're waiting, Benos, we have to pick a driver of the day.
Ooh. Do we want to pick them for one for a specific race or the whole weekend?
How do we normally do this? I don't know if we normally do this. There's good English for you. Do we do this? How would you like to go about it, Benos? Would you like to go? See, it's hard to do it over individual races because the first race was a disaster. I think if you take the overall performance.
I mean, I think Sotin did a very good job. He didn't have the best of luck in the feature race, and then he managed to hold on for the whole 14 laps in P1 in the sprint race against some very fast drivers. So I think he's done a very good job. I think he's definitely one of those people that could be up for the type of day.
Smeltino of Light Cruiser, of course, Pretorius as well, and then Toto as well. If he didn't have, excuse me, I keep getting hiccups every time I get a stream in Formula 2. Don't know, to be honest with you, man. I'm thinking we're gonna have to decide that at a later date. The Formula or the driver of the day. I don't think we're gonna get any interviews.
It doesn't look like that at the moment.
No one wants to talk to us. Oh,
Talk to Elementrix.
wait. Elementrix has joined. Fantastic. I was hoping. He said, "Who do we want? We want anyone, everyone, and anyone, Mr. Chief." But we're gonna bring in Madame Elementrix. Oh, I can see your little green thing saying shining, but I don't hear you. There. Nope. Not getting you at all.
Oh,
Do you hear her, Belosh?
I don't know.
Right, Elementrix, I'm going to move you back out and see if you can fix your mic, and then we'll get talking to you again. So, gentlemen, who will bring in? We'll bring in the chief man, Mr. Chief.
Hello there.
Hello there.
How did that go for you?
Yeah, that was not good, really, not good. Obviously I did stronger in the sprint race, but the first race, I was behind Wimpy, and there was a bit of an incident in sector 2, and I think Wimpy collected someone, and then I collected into Wimpy, and then it just caused a chain reaction. I think Light Cruiser might have got caught up in that as well. Because Light Cruiser got disqualified from the qualifying, I think. So
That's right, yeah.
yeah, so he was obviously behind, and I was aware he was faster, and I was going to let him through at some point. But Hungary is quite hard to let people, pass. So I was trying to pick my spot, but before I could, I got to this pile up, and it was the car stopped in front of me, and I nowhere to go, and picked up front wing damage, and then just reading Jensen's comment. I always listen to Ocean's interviews when I can't sleep. I know if I can't sleep, I just start, talking to myself, and then I'll wake up.
He's a bit of a cheeky wee bugger.
Is he? Was he giving you grief?
No, everyone that we all love Jensen. Jensen's a legend. He's quality. Good crack,
Yeah.
he is.
Well, anyway, so the first race was a bit of a nightmare, but I think that's the kind of theme with me in F2 is like the first race is just like me warming up, and then the second race, that's where I really show my true self and get P8. I was actually surprised I got that P8. I mean, I was fighting grassy jobs there for that position, and yeah, it was touch and go. Like I was catching him, but then when I got close to him, the dirty air, and I don't know, just when you're in cockpit view, it's hard to pick your kind of your lines and stuff. Especially for the S's there.
Yeah, I was actually running on board with you for that the final lap, and you were right on the back end of Grazie Joss, but you seemed to have run a little bit wide. Or what happened, and then it compromised your line. But I mean, you didn't really need to go for the move because you had him on penalty points anyway. So you got I think you got the only point. I think you only get points in the top 8.
Hey,
So,
that'll do me. I'm happy. That's all I need. I'm a happy man. I can live my life now, and
you're quite happy getting 1 point per race.
In the retirement home.
Yeah, I obviously, I want to improve on the 1 point. Excuse me.
Yeah, did you get that? I heard that a wee bit late too.
It's a very comfortable, nice retirement home. I think it's perfect.
That was a slow burn. Do you see how that took about 5 seconds to take effect? That's also age related. It takes a while just to filter into my brain and go.
Yeah, it's a
Hold
wee
on
bit
a
of a
minute.
delay in your brain.
Yeah,
Did someone insult me? Okay. Yeah, I'm just used to it by now.
A delayed response, like this is going to be like over the top of most people except us three. But it's like in Father Ted, whenever Dougal wakes up in the middle of the night, those women were in the nip. No one else will get that, really, I suppose. Us, but
good old Father Ted.
Good Father Ted.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Roxy, Illuminatrix or Elementrix or however you pronounce it. First race. I know there's a lot of pressure on her, because not only is she the first female sim racer in SLR, hopefully first of many. But she's also, she's carrying a lot of weight on her. She's got her special friend Wimpy who's like been coaching her and then putting all this time into her. And we were doing a few practice sessions with her, trying to get her up to speed. And then I think maybe some of her family were watching the stream, so it maybe got, it's a lot of stress. And then there was obviously whenever we're in the one shot quali, she get kicked out or game
That's
crash,
right,
and then. Wimpy and her were just, it was just freaking out. It was a bit mayhem at the start. I think that kind of compromised her first race,
But I was running on board with her for a few laps, and definitely she didn't have much luck on the first the feature race, but the sprint race, I thought she done really well. In fact, I'll bring her in. I'll bring her and Wimpy in now. Actually, bring Wimps, Elementrix in. Here they are, the lovely people.
Hello.
Elementrix and Wimpy. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Yes, we were just talking about you.
You were.
Yeah, we were just saying you didn't have much luck on the first half of that race, well, the feature race. I think you seem to be getting disconnected. But I think the consensus is that you done a really great job in that second in the sprint race. I was actually looking down the times, and I was mentioning on the stream that you were only 2/10 off in terms of your fastest lap.
And the crowd goes wild.
Sorry about that.
2/10. That's all right. 2/10 off Jesse's time. Now Jesse has done a lot of racing, so to be 2/10 off someone that's done a lot of racing is. Kenny's laughing now. Flip steak. She's listening to the dogs barking. Is really good. So I think you should be pretty proud of yourself, Elementrix. That was a fantastic performance for your first major, debut race.
Yeah, thank you. Fuck, let's not talk about the start of the race.
To be fair, I don't think I even finished my first league race.
First, my game crashed, and then I couldn't get back in. And when I got back in, I couldn't take control of the car, and it was just chaotic.
But you made a great recovery. I said your second performance in the sprint race was, it was really, really commendable in how well you performed. And also, the thing that I was most impressed about is you didn't get any penalties. You got no penalty points. Or sorry, no.
I didn't.
No penalties. And let me tell you, as everyone here will know, not getting a penalty in Hungary is, that's no mean feat. It's quite easy to get penalties in Hungary. So, I mean, you're doing something right. So keep at it, definitely.
Yay, me!
Yeah, good job. I mean, like I was saying to Tipsy before you joined there, first female sim racer in SLR. It's a big deal. I've been on the lookout for a female sim racer, but there's none out there. So you stepped up and you did really well. Really, really good job, honestly.
I had a bit of a hissy tantrum, but I'm a girl, so excuse me.
You came back. You did the sprint race. So it's all good.
Hey, don't worry about that. Elementrix Chief has a few hissy tantrums as well. It's not nice, like.
Right, that's it. I'm gone.
But
Yeah,
when
there was.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, man. There was a lot of pressure on me, but I just want to say thank you for everyone for the support and that made a big deal about this. My nerves were absolutely shot, but the ice has been broken, so I hope it just gets better from here on.
Yeah. What I would say to that was I don't want to talk about me, but me personally, I've done a lot of races and a lot of seasons in SLR and 2SRL, and I've done some of the EGL. So you would think that I'd be used to it. But even whenever I'm lining up on the grid after the formation lap is over, I still get excited. I wouldn't say nerves, but I just get excited. You just feel that as if it's your first time again. So I don't think that ever leaves you really. You just get more used to how to dealing with it. But yeah, I hope that's not just a one-off, Elementrix. I hope to see you more often on this, and I'll be able to cover more of your progress, and we'll watch you progress like Wimpy as well. Wimpy, you've progressed something remarkable since the very first race.
Thanks, man. I'm laughing at something else. Sorry, everyone. Hello.
It's all right.
I'm just thinking back of the three-wheeler yesterday. Anyway, yeah, no, it was great, man. Yeah, Roxy kind of broke my attention completely in the first race. I was running fourth or third somewhere in the beginning, and obviously she's sitting right next to me, and she had major issues with the game, being really inexperienced with what to do when what happens, and I kind of had to screw my race. I'm trying to help her while I'm racing, so yeah, that kind of spoiled my race a bit, but it's okay. She got back though. At least she had some issues with the wheels and stuff. Had to reset and everything, and she got back, finished it. So yeah, I'm proud of her.
Well, these
for
yeah,
the first race. At least she finished in front of me. I drove my ass off after I spun the second time. I just couldn't get to her. Well, I did, but too late.
yeah, these kind of things are what you have to go through. As I was saying earlier, it not really applies to this, but I suppose in some way it can be. You know, these are all just experiences. You know, and once you get through them, you know, you bank them in the back of your mind, and then you can use them for the future. Um,
For sure.
so yeah, I mean, things can only get better, Roxy. So
Yes,
again,
no, definitely. I'm
again,
gonna keep
yeah.
going. Ice has been broken, as I said, and the bug has bitten solidly. So just up from here.
Yeah, she's getting a brand new wheel tomorrow, so watch out for
Oh,
the next race.
oh, there's going to be no stopping. She's going to get pole next lap or next
I'm
time.
starting to get nervous. I am very nervous.
Just a
think
by
that's
the
a
way,
bit wishful
After my
thinking,
point.
but hey.
just a by the way, what happened to me in the first race? I don't know if you've seen. I had a scuffle with someone. I can't remember, who, but it was on the last corner, and I got bumped towards the inside, straight into the pits after I already stopped. So my stupid mechanics went in pit and put my second race's fresh mediums on my car. So I had to do the last, I think, 10 laps in the first race with my second race tires. That's why I
Ah.
couldn't finish the damn race. I was on, I think, 60%. On lap 7, I think I told Ocean, I can't remember. And that's I was just trying to stretch it a little bit more so I can try and go for fastest lap on the softs, but I think I just missed out. It's just too much. But anyway, yeah, once again, I don't know why we get such limited tires. It's crappy.
Not to worry, not to worry, Wimps. I think. I mean, overall, you two did a great collective, you know, performance. With your issues you had in the feature race, and then you recovered very well, on the
Yeah.
sprint race. So you know, well done to both of you.
Thank you very much.
But
Thank you.
I don't want this stream to be last all night, because I have a habit of making these streams last a bit too long. So I think we have Gloomy and Contender also might want a wee interview. So I'll move you lovely people out and get them in.
Thank you very much.
Thank
See you guys
you.
next time. Bye bye.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Right, so we're gonna bring Gloomy in.
Eddie's having some fun there.
Yes, we've got Gloomy here. Yes, forgive the noise in the background. Now, this is what I feared. If you hear a little bit of a hello, Wemby. If I forgive the
Wimpy,
noise,
yes.
if you forgive a little bit of noise in the background, that'll be our dog Eddie squeezing his. What's he squeezing? Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna have to say this word.
Bone.
No. It begins with S. His snake.
Ah.
Okay.
See,
Snake.
he has a snake, and he squeezes it. So anyway, forgive me. Gloomy, Mr. Icewind.
Yes. Hello.
So would you like
I
a few
I
things?
wasn't
Yeah.
really even gonna drive, but I because I've basically been traveling for 11 hours today to get home from abroad, and then I got home, and 15 minutes after I got home, Chief asked me to step up and host the race because he was I don't know, maybe he has an issue with his connection or whatever, and I said okay, I'll do it, and I was just gonna spectate, but then I just figured I'll just try driving at the back, which was pretty much what I did. But yeah, I don't know. It was okay, I guess. And I reported myself already because I didn't sign up or anything. So if they want to exclude me from the results, I don't really mind that. So
You seem to have.
I don't want to affect the standings because I don't really drive that series anyway. So
Yeah, how did you find that, Gloomy, driving the Formula 2 cars? Because I mean, anyone who's a regular on these streams will obviously know you from the other races, Formula 2, the SLR, or sorry, the Tier 2, two SRL races. And so we all know you have a lot of pace. So I was just wondering how you felt about the Formula 2 cars.
I guess they feel all right. A little bit understeering. I don't know if it has to do with my setup or something because I just randomly loaded up my Monaco setup and changed the wings a little bit and just changed some random things in the suspension and then just popped on track. But I guess it was not too bad after all. So I don't know. It felt all right to drive. It's quite understeering especially into the fast corners. But
yeah, the understeer is the biggest killer in Formula 2.
Yeah, and it seems like the rear can step out quite surprisingly, like on power. That's what I mean. So because I managed to almost, or actually I did spin in the first race in turn with what is it, turn 2. And I think I was up to gear 3 or 4 and I still spun, so I was a bit surprised.
Yeah, Hugo saying in the chat that the Formula 2 are understeery because they don't have much downforce.
Yes, but but that's of course, that's what it felt like to me. So I had absolutely no practice. The only time I've driven this car is when I started my career mode. So
yeah,
and this was 2 months ago or whenever it was.
Yeah, it's not something you want to just jump into it. You want to have some practice. Although I have done it myself, just jumped in and just seen how it goes. So overall, well done, Gloomy. I'm gonna move you out and get Contender in, and then we'll
thanks.
get this to an end. So thanks, man.
But I guess because I was the host, I guess the lobby was all right.
The lobby was perfectly fine.
Somebody had to disconnect at the start of the second race, but
Van Beats was having a bit of an issue joining, but otherwise, yeah, perfect. Otherwise, it was perfect, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but
good job, man.
Thank you.
We will move in. Mr. Contender.
Hello.
Hello, Contender. You have been patiently waiting. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. But more importantly, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm happy.
Yeah. So I was saying on the stream, I think that may have been your first time or your first experience with Formula 2. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is my first experience. I started racing, experimenting with F2, I think 2 days before today.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And how did you find the whole experience with the Formula 2 cars?
It is really, really fun to drive, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. The thing that you don't have so much downforce, you have to be more patient. The concept of that is really fun to drive.
I suppose a more challenging aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were running on board with you for quite a few times during the stream, and you seem to be able to control the cards, with very little issue. And we know how fast you are in the Formula 1 races, so you seem to be able to carry that pace that you have in Formula 1, and you're able to carry that over to the Formula 2. So I mean, if it is something that you're enjoying and interested in, I'm sure that the boys could maybe fit you in somewhere for a seat.
Yeah. I mean, Friday is a difficult day for me, so I'm not sure I will be able to get in every race. But when I can, I'm sure going to join F2. I find it really fun.
Yeah, man. As I was saying on the stream, I would like to get more people on because Light Cruiser is just kind of running away with it at the moment. He's I think it's
he was fast.
Yeah, Light Cruiser is won pretty much every race, really, bar a few. And even if he doesn't win, he's on the podium somewhere. So he's.
I saw he got fastest lap world record today in Hungary in TT. I think.
Oh right.
Yeah, he has a world record in Hungary TT. I saw that.
So he's got a remarkable amount of practice on the Formula 2, and he is remarkably fast in it. So he's running away with it at the moment. But I'd like to see guys like yourself and other top racers to get on the Formula 2 and really take it to him as well. Because
give him a little challenge.
Yeah, give him a little bit of challenge. Give him a bit of action on the stream.
Yeah.
He just runs away with it all the time.
It was a redemption thing race for me, because in tier 2 it was a mess.
Yeah.
You saw that. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I seen it. Yeah. But
you know how mad I was yesterday. I mean, I had a lot of fun today. So.
Yeah. Yesterday was a hard one. It was a difficult race just a difficult day for everyone, really. But it is nice to just, whenever you've had an experience like that, to jump onto the Formula 2, and then, as you were saying, it's just so much fun. It's just, and there's no pressure. There's no pressure on you either.
There's no pressure. I think the racing is it's more exciting, I have to say, because if you touch someone, you spin.
Yes,
So you have to be
Absolutely.
more careful, I think, something like
Yes.
that. Some aspect of that is really fun.
Oh, that's absolutely true. Yeah, although the Formula 2 cars are not necessarily difficult to drive, they're just
No,
different.
yeah,
And what
yeah, different, yeah,
I was saying on the stream, the understeer is the first issue. Then you have to brake earlier as well. But if you're too quick on the power, the car will just snap
I
instantly
think
on you.
at some point my car snapped. I can't remember which lap. But my car snapped at some point, and I was like, yeah, that's because of F1. My brain was
Yeah.
get on the power.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, as you learned pretty quickly, you can't do that in the Formula 2. You have to be
Yeah, I mean,
really gentle with the
the
car.
first time I got in F2 car to practice a little bit the days before, I was like, my car spun 15 times or something like that.
But you did well, man. You got a P4 in that sprint race.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I got before both races, if I'm
oh,
not.
flip. Right.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I've done a few races with these guys. I know how difficult it is to be able to keep up with them. So on your first
yeah.
race to get, two P4s, that's very well done, man. Hopefully
I'm
we can.
really happy about that. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you should be.
As I said, it was a redemption race.
Oh,
It was,
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely, man. Yeah. Hopefully I can we'll get to see you next week as well, and maybe we'll get to see this.
I hope I can make it in most races. As I said, Friday is a little bit difficult day, but I'm sure if I can, I will join 100%.
Well, that's good to hear, man. And yeah, you're very welcome to join on the Formula 2 races, and you're always welcome on the interview screen
Thank
as
you, mate.
well. So,
Thank you.
thanks you for joining us, Contender. I'm just going to send you back to the Gentleman's Lounge, and I'll wrap up this stream. Thanks,
Goodbye.
man. So there you are, Bilosh.
Indeed.
I didn't know if you wanted to handle any of those interviews, but
I mean, I'm fine with either, to be honest. I can just sit here and enjoy the first-person experience, I suppose.
behind the scenes. I don't really think there's much more really for us to say. I don't know. Oh, I have that wee thing I can show. Actually, do you know what? I was doing something. Was it during the Germany race? And I watched it back, and I have to admit, I burst into tears laughing because I kept murdering every time Hugo was trying to get interviewed. I kept murdering him by playing this, and so I'm gonna play this again. It's just a wee reminder of the EGL. It's not the whole thing. It's just a wee short one. So I'll sign off with that. But in the meantime, I will say thank you very much to Mr. Bilosh for joining me on the stream. I don't know how often Popo's going to do it. I don't know if he's, wants to do it, continue to do it with me. If not, I'm sure you're very welcome, Binosh, to
Oh yeah.
to take the place if you're available.
Oh yeah, I should be available most of the time. So yeah, I'd gladly help along if there's a need.
I also, before I do finish, I will mention also on that anyone who's any prospective commentators out there who want to get into the hang of this thing and learn it. I mean, ultimately I'm learning every day as I'm doing it. The Formula 2 that we're doing here on Fridays is the perfect format for you to do it because there isn't too much pressure on you to perform. Of course, there are a few ground rules that we do like to just abide by, but if I can't do it, or if somebody wants to fit in for maybe a change, certainly get a mention into Chief or Wimpy or someone, and we can always give you a try so that everyone can try and give everyone a bit of an experience of doing it, because I don't think it's right for just the one or the same two people hogging it all the time. It would be nice if we can get maybe some other voices on the AGL. So with that said, if anyone's interested, send a little message to Mr. Chiefman on Discord. But with that said, I will thank again Mr. Bilosh for joining me. Thank everyone for watching. Thank everyone for the races. And that has been your Formula 2 race. Join us for tomorrow, where you're going to get Terror and Thimo for the Tier 1 race. That's going to be explosive because you've got some of the best racers you can see. You'll see them on SLR, and you'll see them on EGL as well, Jensen and Speedy, and you're going to have Terror commentating, who is a remarkably fast driver himself. You're going to see all the top guys tomorrow in the Tier 1, and then you're going to, if you want to see me racing and how my form has went from reasonably good to really bad, and you're going to, you'll see Mr. Bilosh as well on track, as well as Terry. You'll see us all of us will be on track on Sunday where the two SRL races also live streamed on the EGL. But with that, I want to thank all the people on the chat too, Jensen and Kitsune and Hugos and Terra and Thimo and Molo and everyone. You all make this stream worthwhile because whilst nothing's happening on the stream, I can have a good laugh reading the chat. So thank you very much, everyone, on that as well. So I feel like it's the Oscars thanking everyone. Now that everyone's been thanked, I shall sign off with one little reminder of something coming up in a few weeks. Thank you very much. And it's not working. Hang on a minute. Thank you very much